Thank you for tuning into the Northern Miner here at the Precious Metals Summit in Beaver Creek, Colorado. I'm pleased to introduce Amex Exploration's President and CEO, Victor Cantor. Thank you very much for making time to join me.
Thanks for having me again.
Right, so Amex is focused on the Abitibi belt in Quebec, where it has the Perron gold project. It delivered a resource update in May and a PEA just recently.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's jump into the PEA first. Please walk us through some of the top line numbers there and explain to me how the study has moved the needle forward on the project.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very, very robust PEA. Like, we used 2,500 as a base case, price of gold. And when you look at those numbers at $3,400, it's quite impressive. When I look at like one number that really jumps out to me is the payback period. When you look at the payback period pre-tax, it's 0.2. So 0.2 is for 2.5 months. And I say pre-tax because you won't have to pay your tax till later. But even after tax, it's 0.4. That really de-risks the project substantially. You look at some of those top, like the MPV at 3,400 is $1.8 billion. At 2,500, it's slightly over $1 billion. You look at all those numbers. If you look at the pre-tax free cash flow, life of mine, it's $5 billion.
There you go. Wow.
So it's quite impressive numbers. I know it's jumping around with numbers everywhere, pre-tax, after tax, but it's quite impressive. And those numbers are all on our site. There's a PowerPoint presentation. You can go look at all those numbers there.
Of course. So just digging a little bit deeper in there, what is the envisioned mining scenario? Are you looking at open pit, underground, and what's the processing flow sheet looking at preliminarily at this point?
Sure. So we wanted to position ourselves as a near-term producer. So what we're doing is we're going to be doing a bulk sample first. But the key is we're doing that bulk sample, but the bulk sample, the portal, the decline, the ramp, it's really a production size. So when you get your permitting, that's usually we call that an ATI. Usually takes 3 to 6 months. So stretch it out to the 6 months. Then construction would start there. To do a production size one, you're looking at approximately, and these are all forward-looking numbers again, but you're looking at something like $25 million, and that gets you your production size facility. From there, you do construction. Construction will take you about 16 to 18 months. So by sometime in mid-2027, you're actually going to be producing gold from your bulk sample. If we come back to today, we're going to be doing a feasibility study just for the toll milling, for a toll milling part. We're going to be toll milling for 4 years. So a feasibility study only for toll milling should be completed quite quickly. I'm anticipating no more than 6 months or so. So again, sometime in Q1, we're gonna have a feasibility study ready, and that's going to trigger us to go get all our permitting, environmental, the VAT process, all that. That should take about 2 years or so. So that takes you to 2028. If you look at the study, the first 4 years of toll milling, you're looking at $102,000 ounces per year average in those first 4 years. Look at the capex numbers. The capex numbers are quite not high at all. It's $146 million. But one thing to remember, that $146 million is already inclusive of the $25 million that we would have spent for the bulk sample. So that number needs to be removed from that, and then whatever tonnage we get, we're going to be producing ounces from the bulk sample. Reduce that some more from the capex. So it's really not a big capex for a profile where you're going to be averaging the first 10 years 112,000 ounces. Come down to cost, first couple of years for the toll milling part, because you're going to be paying extra transport and toll milling charges. You're just shy of $1,200 an ounce of AISC, and you can do the math. If you're doing over 100,000 ounces a year, if you're making $2,000 an ounce, that's over $200 million a year US that you would be making in free cash flow pre-tax.
Lucrative.
Yes, very.
Taking a step back, I want to just look at the mineral resource estimate you put out earlier this year. What are the tonnages and what's the total size of the resource at the moment?
Absolutely. So the total size is 2.3 million ounces. You have 1,615,000 ounces at 6.14 grams per ton in measured and indicated, and there's another 698,000 at just slightly over 4 grams per ton for a total of 2.3. But the star in there is the Champagne zone. The Champagne zone carries 831,000 ounces in measured and indicated at 16.2 grams per ton on the resource, and there's a little bit, and that's all in M&I, and then you have some in you have some also at the 9 grams per ton in inferred.
Okay. Let's talk about the permitting pathway in Quebec. What are the key catalysts you're working towards? You mentioned a relatively quick pathway to get to production.
Absolutely. You're still going to have to go through the normal permitting, environmental, but the first path is going to be the bulk sample permit. That's what we call in Quebec, it's an ATI. It's 3 to 6 months. It's quite a complete package to get that permitted. 3 to 6 months, you're permitted. For the toll milling, it's going to be a little bit longer. You're going to have to do all the environmental studies, the BAP process. That's the public hearings. That's really 2 years. Should not take you more than 2 years. It should not take us beyond mid 2028. The advantage of that is that because I built the production sized facility at the beginning with the bulk sample, once my permits arrive in 2028, I go straight into production. I don't have to wait the normal path of construction because I will already have done that. And that's the importance of doing a production size portal decline ramp at the beginning.
Okay, so how do you think about funding the development plan? Do you prefer, and through to pre-feasibility, do you prefer equity, royalties, or a mix? Perhaps bringing a joint venture partner in?
Yeah, we're really fortunate. Like the capital expenditures here are not that much. The initial one would be for the portal, portal decline ramp. You're looking at around $25 million. There's going to be lots of optionality. You could do equity, you could do a loan, you could do a gold loan. I mean, we're talking about a tiny amount here, and you're going to get gold sales after. So the total you would actually have to come up with is 146 at the end, but minus the 25, minus the gold sales, you're probably looking to fund $50 to $75 million in 2028. And the fact that you will already have been a producer from your bulk sample, there's so much optionality. You can go get a gold loan. I will not have to put together. This is not a $1 billion project where you start piecing together streams and royalties. You can easily do equity loan, a gold loan, which you could get at very favorable rates, knowing that we've already produced.
Mm-hmm. So tell me just a little bit about the Abitibi region in which Perron is located. There surely is a lot of development and prior developments there. How does that help your story?
Well, on the toll milling part, there's lots of optionality. There's mills to the north, to the east, to the west, to the south of us. There's mills all over the Abitibi. So that really helps us that there's operating mills with capacity that can take our ore. We've been very fortunate having a really good partner. We have El Dorado that's at 17%. That definitely helps a lot. On the exploration side, if we go that's the path. We're going on a dual path. So the path to exploration and also the path of production, bringing it into revenues. So on the exploration side, so all our known zones on the Perron side, on the Quebec side, that's approximately 45.6 square kilometers. All the zones are open, either at depth to on strike. There's all the known zones. We'll get some drilling this year. What's really interesting is that in sometime in April we had purchased, it was April or May, we had purchased on the Ontario side along the same structure 152 square kilometers. Now we have 197 square kilometers on this on a greenstone belt in the middle of the Abitibi, which has really been underexplored. because in the past there was only a VMS mine in the past. Most of the exploration there was for VMS. Now the package that we did purchase, there is gold showings from the past, including results from sonic drilling. So as we speak right now, we're running an exploration program, and we're going to prepare it for drilling. So on the Ontario side, it won't be until 2026. On the Quebec side, we're looking at sometime around October 10 to start a drilling program.
How many meters are you budgeting?
So we have a $27 million budget between now and the end of 2026. At the beginning, we're going to be doing about maybe 10,000 meters this year, and for the balance of 2026, it'll be approximately 100,000 meters of drilling. We really want to go out there and increase the resource.
Okay, so a dual path, fast to production and resource growth. What are the top 3 things you would like to leave investors with about the company?
Well, we're going to be a near-term producer with a very low AISC as our PA demonstrated. So the things to look for is going to be press releases on permitting, press releases on feasibility studies that we're starting, and then receiving those permits and starting construction. I mean, it's really exciting, and also what's going to be exciting when those drills start turning again. Like right now, they're doing a lot of ground exploration work, and we're getting ready for some really exciting times here.
Excellent. All right. There you have it from Amex Exploration's President and CEO, Victor Cantor. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.